Mmm. Mmm. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It was smelling like Cinnabon up in here. And guess what? It's tasting like Cinnabon too. Hey, welcome back to the Crazy Kitchen. So today we're going to do cinnamon rolls. We're going to vegan some cinnamon rolls. I've been really craving a good cinnamon roll. I haven't had one, well, I haven't had one in 2 years. So I kind of want a cinnamon roll. And we went to the bakery today and they had cinnamon rolls in there. I was like, that's it, that's a sign. I'm going home. I'm making me some cinnamon rolls. I have been attempting to make these for about a month now. And just, you know how it goes. I'm going to first show you all the ingredients that we need to go into our cinnamon rolls. And then we're going to put it together. Ingredient we're going to use is warm milk. So I put my milk on and gave it a little cook. I turned it off before it got to a boiling and then I let it kind of cool off, and then I took the temperature. So invest in a thermometer, a cooking thermometer, if you don't have one. These are good and handy for when you need to have exact temperatures for milk or making candy or something like that. Okay, so we need a cup of milk. So I'm using cashew milk. Oh, look at that. And I just poured that. I eyeballed that in there. My eyeballs are good. And then we're going to take 2.5 teaspoons of quick rising yeast, and we're going to sprinkle that on top. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Oopsie. Now we're going to add in we need 2 eggs. So we have an egg substitute. You can actually, there's different ways of doing egg substitutes. You can use, oh my gosh, I forgot the English word for it, but there's different egg substitutes. I just, when I'm baking, I don't want to change the texture or anything, so I just try to go with a traditional egg substitute versus, some kind of like, oh, what is the name of it? I forget. But anyhow, 2 eggs. Then we have, let me get this. Then we need a 1/3 cup of butter. So this is vegan butter, and it can be melted, but not warm, not too hot, or it can be even softened. So I've got mine kind of half and half. I put it in the microwave, and vegan butter melts pretty fast anyway. So it was already starting to melt by the time I got back to it. Now we need a teaspoon of salt. And then we want a 1/2 cup of sugar. This is not the professional cooking, like, you see them all. Yeah, this is Kim's Crazy Kitchen. And this is how we do it up in here. Okay, so my sugar is not white, but it's still a 1/2 cup. So we put the 1/2 cup in there. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do 4 cups of flour. So I'm going to measure this out 2 times because this is a 2 cup. So 1, 2 makes 4 cups. And now we're going to put this on the stand mixer and we're going to mix just until it's combined. Flour going everywhere, but actually I need to put this thing down. Now I'll put my guard on, and we're just gonna mix until it's combined. Ah, it's still going everywhere. Okay, so that's combined. Now I'm just gonna let it rest for about 5 minutes. I have the kneading blade on there. That's the kneading blade. I guess that's what they call it. Whatever. Now we're gonna turn it on like a medium level. I guess that's good enough. And we're gonna add in another 1/2 cup of flour while that's doing its kneading process. So, no, I'm just predicting that's gonna be a little messy, so I'm gonna turn it off. And now I'm gonna add it in. Just a little bit at a time. But now I'm gonna turn it back on slow. Oh, got my hand all in the camera there. Sorry. Okay, I want to add in the rest of this flour. So, now we're going to turn that back on. Just as slow, so we get the flour so it doesn't like pick the flour all up. Okay, and now I'm going to put it back onto a medium level. And what I want it to do is I want it to start to form a ball and pull away from the bowl a bit. So we're going to do this for about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to knead this by hand for the last few minutes. And I've got a little flour, extra flour for it so it doesn't stick to my counter. So I'm just going to knead that. Now that our dough is nicely kneaded, we're going to take a greased bowl and we're going to place, our dough into a greased bowl. Okay, like so. We're going to cover it with a towel and we're going to put it in a warm place. So what I'm going to do is I heated my oven up just a little bit. And now I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to put this in, and hopefully it will have risen to what I need it to rise. So we'll be back. Okay, our dough has risen. I left it rising for about an hour and a half actually. I dozed off. So let me put a little flour here. We'll get this out of our bowl. Now we're just doing a little bit of flour now. So now you're going to get you a rolling pin and you're going to roll this out. I'm trying. Okay, here's our inside mixture. The inside mixture is 1/2 cup of softened butter, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and then 1 cup of brown sugar. And you don't want to completely melt your butter, just make it soft, and then you mix all of that together. And now we're going to spread this out all over our dough. So now we're going to roll this tightly. Okay, now we're going to cut these into our slices. they're not going to all be the same size. So let's just go ahead and cut. I'm starting on this end where, okay. So here's one and one. Now that we've got it all cut up, you're going to lightly oil a pan, and we're going to place all of our slices in the pan. Okay, I've got my rolls in the pan. I'm going to cover these and then I'm going to let them rise again. So when we come back, hopefully they will be doubled in size. Abracadabra. Shalazoom. Shalazam. Voila. They did double in size. As a matter of fact, they doubled so much. They're like squeezing these. So they're all squeezing them. There you go. Okay, so the second rise has risen. Now for the final step before it goes in the oven, we have a half a cup of heavy cream. So I'm using a half cup of heavy cream. It's oat heavy cream. So we're just going to pour this on top just to let it soak down in there. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. We're going to let that soak. We're going to let that soak it up just a little bit, and then we'll come back. My heavy cream is as soaked in as it's going to get soaked. So now we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven at 375 degrees. It's going to depend. I'm not really sure because of the size of these buns how long it's going to take. So I'm going to first put it in for 20 minutes, and then after 20 minutes, I'm going to go back and I'm going to check it. Of course, you guys will be with me at the 20-minute mark to check it, and then we'll see how much longer we need. Okay? See you in a bit. Time to check. Ooh. Okay, fresh out of the oven. Now we're going to make they look a lot darker on camera than they really are. Let me see if I can move the camera into the light so you can see that they're not really burnt. Okay, well, maybe not. But we're going to now make the icing. Okay, now it's time to make our icing for the top of our cinnamon rolls. We're going to do 2 cups of powdered sugar and 1/3 cup of our butter, softened. I hope this is softened enough. Oh, if it's not, we'll just beat it extra hard. 6 ounces of cream cheese, because we're doing a cream cheese frosting. And I'm not really sure if this is 6 ounces, but it's a whole thing. So I'm using Violife. And there it is. I'm just going to use my dirty butter spoon because it's all togetherness. Okay, the machine is pretty loud, so I'm not going to have you guys over there. I'm going to go take this over to the mixer, and we'll be back. The mixer is going. I'm going to add in a half tablespoon of maple extract. You can do vanilla or whatever flavor, orange, whatever flavor you want yours. I'm going to do maple. All right, it's time to ice these. So I'm going to pour this over. Ooh, look at that. And I'm actually not going to use, well, I'm going to try not to. Who knows how this is going to work out. But this icing is actually pretty sweet. Oops. I think that whoever eats these is destined for sugar shock. So I just want to take this and move it around. And I don't want to put any more on there. I think these are going to be sweet enough that you won't need, well, as I say that, let me just drizzle a little more. So my plan is to take these to work and see how they go. But I'm going to scoop one out and we're going to try one together. So let me just do that. I'm so excited. Okay, so I took, it's actually half of it still left in the pan. It didn't break off pretty good, but I just took a little one out because I don't want to eat a whole one. So here we go. We're going to try our cinnamon rolls. First, let's try a piece without the icing. Okay. Here we go. Mm. Mm. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It was smelling like Cinnabon up in here. And guess what? It's tasting like Cinnabon too. Okay, let's try a piece with the sugary icing. Oh my. Mm. These are so good, y'all. These are like so good. I'm so happy that I made these. I'm definitely gonna take these to work. Mmm. Mmm. Okay. I'll list all the ingredients that I used in this. And yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to go make them. Mmm. Mmm. I'm gonna stop. Oh my gosh. These are so good. These are so good. They're good. All right. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. Good night. The cinnamon rolls got me all off my game. Mmm, those are so good. This was our first sweet thing we did. No, we kind of did cookies a little bit, but we didn't really do. We did cookies. But these are so good. Good night.